Hello everyone, and welcome to Warhammer. Today we're going to be going over the Maggotkin of Nurgle. And battle traits we're going to pause, as I always do. I have a short that goes over the battle traits, if you so desire to watch that. Battle formations, Taliban of Nurgle, disease and pestilence personified. From the second battle round onward, add 1 to the amount of mortal damage inflicted, if any, by ranked with disease. Nurgle's Menagerie passive. During army composition, you can include 2 feculent normals on your army instead of 1. Plague cyst, vectors of contagion. Each time a model in a friendly Rotbringer's unit is slain by a combat attack and the model was in combat with the attacking unit, roll a number of dice equal to the slain model's health characteristic to a maximum of 4. For each 5 up, inflict mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight has been resolved. Affliction cyst. Once per battle in the deployment phase, pick up to 2 friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle units that have fly, remove the targets from the battlefield, set them up, get on the battlefield more than 9 from all enemy units. Heroic traits, you've got either the passive Gift of Febrile Frenzy, add 1 to the move characteristic of friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle units that do not have fly, if they are wholly within 12 inches of this unit at the start of the move. Grandfather's Blessing, if this unit is in combat with a diseased enemy unit, heal d6. Or when your opponent declares command for a unit in combat with this ability, roll dice. On a 5-up, the command has no effect. The command still counts as being used, and the command points spent are still lost. Artifacts. In any combat phase, you've got the Wither Stave. Pick an enemy unit that charged this turn and is in combat. On the 4-up, the target gets strike last. Once per battle, Rust Fang. Pick an enemy hero in combat, subtract 1 from save rolls. Or once per battle, the Carrion Dirge. In any hero phase, pick up 3 enemy units within 12, subtract 3 from their control scores. Spell Lore. The casting value of 7, Fleshy Abundance is your unlimited spell. You pick it from the Maggotkin of Nurgle unit wholly within 12. If it's damaged, heal d3. If it's not damaged, subtract 1 from wound rolls for attacks that target that unit until the start of your next turn. Going Quagmire, casting value is 7. Pick from the Maggotkin of Nurgle wizard. Pick a visible enemy unit within 18. Have the unit's move characteristic until the start of your next turn. If its save is 3 or better, subtract 1 from run and charge as well. Magnificent Babos. Casting value is 7. Pick a friendly wizard, then pick a visible enemy hero within 18. Till the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from rolls for the target's attack and subtract 1 from casting, chanting, banishment, and unbinding rolls for them. Rodigus, big, tanky, great unclean one, casting value of 8, Deluge of Nurgle. Pick each disease enemy unit on the battlefield and each friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle unit in combat with any diseased units. Make your casting roll. Roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on each enemy target equal to the roll. Heal X each friendly target where X is an amount equal to the roll. And then once per turn, Mountain of Loathsome Flesh. If this unit charged, roll a dice. On a 3-up, pick an enemy unit within an inch. Roll number of dice equal to the number of models in the target unit. For each 5-up, inflict mortal damage. And Bringer of Plenty, add 1 to casting rolls. Pretty simple. Great Unclean Ones, once per turn. Locust of Nurgle, pick a friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle Daemon unit that started the battle with 3 or more models and has been destroyed. On a 4-up, set up a replacement unit with half the number of models rounding up, wholly within 12, and more than 9 from all enemy units. Once per turn, you've got Bloated with Corruption. If this unit is damaged, pick up to 3 enemy units in combat, roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. Plague-ridden, casting value of 7, pick a visible enemy unit within 12, they get the disease keyword. Poxbringer, when you declare a fight ability, pick a friendly Plague Bearers unit. Apologies, I sneezed. Pick a friendly Plague Bearers unit that has not used a fight ability this turn and is within the unit's combat range to be the target. The target can be picked to use a fight ability immediately after. If picked to do so, add 1 to the hit rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the turn. Horticulous Slimucks. If there are fewer than 3 friendly feculent normal models on the battlefield, you can set up a feculent normal wholly within 12 inches of this unit and more than 3 from all enemy units, objectives, and other terrain features in your movement phase. And once per turn in your movement phase, you pick a friendly beast Nurgle unit that's been destroyed on a 3-up, set up a replacement unit wholly within 12, more than 9 from all enemy units. So that's pretty powerful. Spoil Pot's Scrivener. Once per turn in your hero phase, keep counting. I'm watching you. Pick a friendly Plague Bearers unit wholly within 12. Roll a d6 on a 2-up. Pick one of the following effects. Add one to the attacks of their melee weapons, or add one to the save rolls. And then Sloppity Bilepiper, once per turn in any combat phase. Jolly Gut Pipe, pick a visible friendly Maggotkin of Demon unit, a Nurgle Demon unit, wholly within 12. On a 2-up, pick one of the following results. Add one to wound rolls for the target's attack. Ward rolls cannot be made for damage points inflicted by the target's attacks, or subtract one from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy units that target the target unit. So some pretty powerful buffs, probably on your Plague Bearers with these two characters. Nurglings, at the end of any turn, they heal 3 this unit. So pretty simple there. Beast of Nurgle. Attention Seekers in any charge phase. If this unit is not in combat, pick the closest enemy unit to it to be the target. If 2 or more enemy units are tied, you can pick which one. Make a charge roll of 2d6. It can move a distance up to the value of the charge roll during that move. This unit can move into combat and can pass through models in the target unit, but it must end that move within an inch of the target. Then inflict d3 mortal damage on the target. So can charge into your enemy hero phase, and they're a beast. Plague drones. This unit can use charge abilities even if it uses retreat, and it doesn't take damage when retreating. Pretty simple. Not too much to say there. Good old nasty unit. Plague Bearers. Cloud of Flies. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target this unit. Again, very simple. Daemon infantry unit. 2 wounds. Really tanky with the 5-up ward. The Glotkin, Blighted Stampede, once per turn when you declare the counter charge for this unit. Pick up to 3 friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle units wholly within 12 after the counter charge command has been resolved. If this unit charged, each of the targets can immediately use the counter charge command in an order of your choosing without any command points being spent. Horrific Opponent, subtract 3 from the control scores of enemy units while they're in combat. And Overgrowth of Flesh, casting out of 6. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12. Roll a number of dice equal to the target's health characteristic for each 5-up, inflict mortal damage to a maximum of 7 mortal damage. Morbidex Twiceborn, passive Lord of Nurglings. While any friendly Nurglings are wholly within 12, ignore the first damage point that would allocate to them in each phase and add 3 to their control scores. Gigantic Nurgling Kin, heals 6 this unit, where X is half the number of damage points this unit has, rounding up. And Tide of Nurglings. Pick a friendly Nurglings unit within this unit's combat range. On a 2-up, they have crit mortal for the rest of the turn. So really good at buffing up your Nurglings. Below Ab Rat Spawn. Rot Spawn, sorry. Miasma of Pestilence, casting value 6. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 until the start of your next turn. Each time you allocate any damage points that were inflicted by another friendly ability to the target, roll a dice. On a 4-up, allocate 1 additional damage point to the target. And then Daemon Flies, once per turn, pick each enemy unit within 6, roll a dice for each target. On a 4-up, inflict mortal damage and subtract 1 from hit rolls for the target's combat attacks. So pretty powerful debuff there. Gut Rot Spoon, Master of the Slime Fleet, deployment phase, a regiment led by this unit. It has not been destroyed. Each unit is set up in reserve using the Aboard the Slime Fleet. And then you can set them up anywhere on the battlefield, wholly within 7 of the battlefield edge, and more than 9 from all enemy units, and set up every other friendly unit that's aboard the Slime Fleet in the same rules, but within 7 inches of him. Foiling Tentacles, pick an enemy infantry hero in combat, roll dice on a 3-up, they get strike last. Lord of Afflictions. In any combat phase, pick up to 3 enemy units in combat, roll a d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on a target equal to the roll. That's kind of crazy. And then Master of Rot Flies. If this unit charged this turn, pick this unit and up to 2 friendly Hostile Blight Lords. Units wholly within 12 inches of this target unit to be the target, add 1 to the rend of their companion's melee weapons. Okay. I think that's a really powerful hero. I would never play this armor because I don't like the Nurgle theme. But that's a strong abilities there. Orgott's Daemon Spew, Grasping Tongue, pick an enemy unit in combat. On a 3-up, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Maggotkin of Nurgle units that target that enemy unit for the rest of the turn. And then each time you make an unmodified save roll of 6 for a combat attack that targets this unit, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight has been resolved. Lord of Blight, pick an enemy unit that charged this turn and is in combat with this unit to be the target. Roll a d3 on a 2-up, inflict an amount of mortal damage on the target equal to the roll. So these mortal heroes can deal a lot of damage in combat without having to actually attack. Festering Bulwark, the blighted weapons used by friendly Putrid Blight Kings units have anti-charge, +1 rend, while those units are wholly within 12 of this unit. Harbinger of Decay, once per battle, enemy hero phase, the Knell of Doom. Pick up to 3 enemy units within 24 until the start of your next turn. Subtract 1 from the move characteristic of each target and subtract 1 from run and charge rolls. It's okay, it's not a great ability, but at prayer answer value 4, pick a visible enemy unit within 12. Subtract twice the current battle round number from the target's control score for the rest of the turn. The chanting roll was a 10 up. This ability affects all enemy units within 12. So really good at nuking enemies' control scores. Rotbringer Sorcerer is a wizard 1, and Tainted Sorceries. Pick an enemy unit that was picked to be the target of a spell that was successfully cast by this unit this phase to be the target. Roll dice on a 2-up, subtract 1 from ward rolls for the target for the rest of the turn. So it can make the enemy less tanky. Lord of Plagues, Lord of the Blight Kings, add 1 to charge rolls for friendly Putrid Blight King units while they're wholly within 12. And Sevenfold Slaughter, in a combat phase, pick a friendly Putrid Blight King's unit that charges turn and is wholly within 12. Roll a dice on a 2-up, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of their blinded weapons for the rest of the turn. So, kind of a more offensive character, whereas the Lord of Blights is a more defensive character. Good to know. Putrid Blight Lords, relentless attackers, add 1 to the rend of the Fly Rider's arsenal for attacks that target units contesting objective you do not control. So, range 2 if they're attacking units that are contesting objectives they don't control. Putrid Blight Kings, add 3 to this unit's control score while each model in this unit is contesting an objective you control. So they're a little bit more defensive. Rotmire Creed, while using the Blessed by the Plague-Father ability, you choose to infect an enemy unit. You can pick an enemy unit that had any damage points allocated to this unit shooting attacks this turn to be the target, even if the unit is not in combat with a Maggotkin of Nurgle unit. So they can basically shoot poison darts, basically. I really like these models. I'm not a fan of Nurgle by any means, but I love the kind of it's not rectangular, but eye-shaped shields. It's very cool, tribal, very let's say Zulu inspired. But Feculent Narwhal, once per turn at the end of any turn, riddled with disease, pick an enemy unit within 6 of this terrain feature to be the target. Roll dice on a 4-up. The target gets the diseased keyword. And then the Spearhead rules. We've been going through this pretty quickly, but Pox Scrivener, Puskul Blight Lord, 2 of those, 5 Putrid Blight Kings, 5 Plague Bearers, 5 Plague Bearers. Alright, battle traits, you get one of these. Okay, so one of your Puskul Blight Lords and one of your Plague Bearer units are not set up. Oh, actually, you get all of these, sorry. So, Demonic Summoning, on the 3rd battle round, set up this unit anywhere on the battlefield more than 6 from all enemy units. Each Time an attack made by a friendly model scores a critical hit, you receive a disease point to a maximum of 7. Spend any number of your disease points for each disease point you spend. Pick an enemy unit that is in combat with any of your units and roll dice. On a 4-up, inflict immortal damage on that unit. And then you've got the Locus of Fecundity. In your hero phase, pick a friendly unit, heal D3. Or infested with wonders. Each time a friendly model is slain before it is removed from play, you can pick an enemy unit within an inch and roll a dice. On a 4-up, inflict immortal damage on the unit. Probably going with the Locus of Fecundity, but kind of hard to say. Enhancements. Give your general one of the following enhancements. You either do Summoner of Plague Bearers, pick a friendly Plague Bearers unit older than 14, return a slain model at the end of each turn. In your shooting phase, Pestilent Breath, pick an enemy unit within 7 inches and roll a dice for each model in the unit. For every 5-up, inflict immortal damage. Gardener of Nurgle, if your general is contesting objective not contested by any enemy models, roll a dice. On a 3-up, the objective is considered by you to be desecrated. Friendly units have a ward of 4-up while they're contesting a desecrated objective. If your opponent gains control of a desecrated objective, it's no longer desecrated. Or the Gift of Febrile Frenzy until the end of the phase, add 1 to the attack characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly units while they're holding than 7, and that's a once per battle ability. Summoner of Plague Bearers seems pretty good. Pretty good. Spoilpox Scrivener, you've got 2 of these guys that are able to give you those Tally of Blows or recorded stamina, add 1 to the attacks or add 1 to save rolls. So, pretty good character there to have 2 off. It is, yeah, so you can do that twice. And then you've got, sorry, you only have 1 of those, I think. Scrollbot Scrivener, yeah, 1. And then you have 2 Puskull Blight Lord. And so they have, if this unit charges this phase, pick an enemy unit within an inch of the target and roll dice. On a 2-up, inflict a d3 mortal damage on the target. And then Putrid Blight Kings. Relentless attackers pick an enemy infantry unit in combat with this unit to be the target and roll dice for each model in this unit that's within the target's combat range. For each roll that exceeds the target's health characteristic, inflict immortal damage. That's pretty powerful. And then the Plague Bearers, Cloud of Flies, subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target this unit. So overall, a pretty tanky Spearhead detachment. A lot of wounds. So that's 10, an extra 15, an extra 16 with these guys, and then an extra 5. So pretty tanky overall. Looking at this, so at first I thought the theme was really about countercharging, and it kind of is. If you bring the Maggotkin, countercharging is pretty powerful. Same with Beast of Nurgle. So countercharging is a good. There's a few ways you can play this. You can. I would personally like to go with the bring the guys that just do D3 mortal damage to enemy units that are in combat with them, and just do that every single time. But let me know what your strategies are going to be and what units you bring. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how I did. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.